Let's talk about another big development. And as we fight the Wuhan virus, the key, we say, is to not lose hope. And that's true for any crisis, healthcare crisis, humanitarian, historical, because even the darkest of tunnels do come to an end. And that's the story from West Asia. Tensions between Israel and Hamas escalated 2 Fridays ago, on the 7th of May to be precise. Before one could take stock, a fight broke out, the worst since 2014. It lasted 11 days. It killed at least 255 people, 255. It kept the world on its toes. Here's a quick recap. In total, over 4,300 rockets were fired from Gaza, 4,300 into Israel. Israel bombarded the Gaza Strip. 243 people died in Gaza. More than 100 of them were women and children. In Israel, 12 people died, including an Indian woman and 2 Thai nationals. At one point, an all-out war seemed inevitable. But 11 days of non-stop violence later, the exchange of fire has finally ended. And I can finally tell you that Israel and Gaza have agreed to a ceasefire. Here's what happened in the last 24 hours. An emergency meeting of the United Nations General Assembly was called. On the agenda was the Israel-Gaza violence. Countries called for an immediate ceasefire. Israel equated Hamas to the Nazis. Palestinian Foreign Minister Raed al-Maliki addressed the assembly. And he questioned Israel's use of force. He called it a colonizing power. A little later, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that his security cabinet had approved the Egyptian-mediated proposal to end violence, and Hamas quickly responded. It said that it would honor the deal. A ceasefire was announced. Celebrations broke out in Gaza, Jerusalem, and as far away as New York. The ceasefire came into effect at 2 a.m. local time. As the fight ended, a narrative war began. And it began with one question: who won this 11-day-long battle? Both Israel and Gaza are claiming victory. In Gaza, there were cheers and whistles last night. Residents took to the streets, and they were joined by senior Hamas officials. Listen to what one of them said.
We are celebrating this victory now, so let the world listen why we are celebrating. Why are we coming out happily? Because many factors have emerged. The Zionist enemy wanted to impose new facts in Jerusalem and Sheikh Jarrah in our homeland Palestine. So Palestine rose up from its sea to the river, from its north to south, to be like one castle, one people in the face of this occupier. We are sacrificing for Palestine. We are sacrificing for Jerusalem al-Aqsa.
And what does Israel have to say? Let's have it from the horse's mouth.
To the citizens of Israel, at the beginning of my speech, I would like to thank you for standing strong and for the outstanding strength that you have showed during the 11-day campaign that allowed us to accomplish the goals of the campaign with outstanding success. Not everything is known to the public. By the way, not everything is known to Hamas, but our overall achievements will become known over time. Hamas received 11 days and nights of big blows that changed the rules of the game. I want to emphasize that more than anything else, we changed the equation not only for the days of the campaign, we changed the equation for the future.
Outstanding success. You've changed the equation for the future. Netanyahu's message is loud and clear. He says Israel has won. Meanwhile, a Hamas leader told the media that Israel has made a concession. It's a promise to, quote-unquote, lift their hand off Sheikh Jarrah and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israel has denied this. You see, both Israel and Gaza are trying to tell the world that they have won. Like I said, it's a war of narratives. And it is being fought on numerous fronts. Social media is one of them. It has been quite a lethal battle in the last couple of weeks. Israel has tried to capitalize on its widely followed handles online. It has fired rockets on Twitter, literally. Put up emotionally charged messages. Palestinians, on the other hand, are capitalizing on the momentum gained from a viral campaign, #SaveSheikh The narrative war is also being fought on the streets. Over the weeks, there have been pro-Israel and pro-Palestine rallies in countries across the world. One such rally turned deadly today. In Pakistan, 6 people were killed in an explosion. Reports say the target was a local leader who was on his way to attend a pro-Palestine rally. Another weapon in this narrative war are speeches. What leaders from each side are telling the world. You already sampled it. Israel maintains that it is a nation under attack, a nation that is being forced to defend itself. As for Hamas, it claims to have exposed Israel. It claims to have shown the world how Israel does not mind killing women and children. This was the 4th time violence between Hamas and Israel escalated to such deadly heights. The good thing is, a ceasefire has finally been agreed on. And while a ceasefire is a start, an important start, it is not a permanent solution to a problem that is intertwined in history, geography, identity, and religion. This region needs a resolution, and unless there is one, West Asia will continue to be hit by repeated waves of violence. Let me show you something. These are images from earlier this evening. Clashes between Palestinians and Israelis have begun all over again, and this time too, it is in Al-Aqsa. It is unclear what sparked this violence, but according to the latest, police have fired stun grenades and tear gas at these protesters. Some of the Palestinians hurled rocks there. And they were seen waving Hamas flags. I'm sure you'll agree this is hardly anybody's idea of peace. Narrative wars will only give more ammunition to radical groups on either side. Peace deals alone do not ensure peace. For that, you need all stakeholders on board. And if the last 11 days have taught us anything, it is this.